بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أصحاب الفخامة والمعالي والسعادة، الحضور
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to all of you here in Dubai, the land of opportunities and innovations, the pioneering business world center, and the capital of Islamic economy. We welcome you all to this opening ceremony of the 10th session of the World Islamic Economic Forum, held under the theme Innovative Partnerships for a Promising Economic Future. It is an embodiment of the Emirates' endeavor to play a pivotal role in drawing new features for an Islamic economy that is in step with the Dubai capital of the Islamic Economy initiative launched by His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, UAE Vice President and Prime Minister and the ruler of Dubai. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, this forum is important because it highlights the fundamental changes sweeping the world commercial and financial markets. It is an ideal platform for investment funds and corporations, private and public alike, to extend bridges of communication, to exchange expertise and knowledge with economic experts. This coming together of this remarkable elite here in Dubai is but a testimony to the attractiveness of the Emirate and its status on the world Islamic economic arena. Distinguished guests, may I call now on His Excellency Mr. Tun Musi Hitam, the Chairman of the World Islamic Economic Fund Foundation, to make a welcome address. You have the floor, sir.
I thought somebody else was supposed to speak earlier. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. His Excellency the Honorable Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak, Prime Minister of Malaysia, His Excellency Presidents of Kazakhstan and Bangladesh, His Excellency Prime Ministers of Timor-Leste and Luxembourg, and His Excellency Dr. Ahmad Muhammad Ali, President of the Islamic Development Bank, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. First of all, let me begin by saying how privileged I am to be standing before you today at this 10th WIEF being held in this beautiful and dynamic city of Dubai. I would like to express our appreciation to His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for giving his support to host our conference in Dubai. Let me say that since Dubai is aspiring to be the global hub of Islamic economy, we do hope that the holding of this year's annual forum in Dubai symbolically indicates our best wishes and confidence of your success. We also like to thank the Malaysian Prime Minister for his personal continued support, as well as his government's valuable assistance in making the WIEF the success that it is. In addition, I need also to recognize the presence of His Excellency Tun Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, former Prime Minister of Malaysia, who's with us, who started it all by establishing the WIEF more than 10 years ago. I would also like to recognize the presence of His Excellency, the President of the Islamic Development Bank, who had been our very strong supporters from the very beginning. Our sincere thanks and sincere appreciation also go to the other global leaders present here today. Ladies and gentlemen, within the last 10 years, the WIEF annual fora had grown from a conference attended by just 400 business persons in Kuala Lumpur to 2,800 last year in London. Beside Kuala Lumpur, the annual conference had been held in Jakarta, Islamabad, Kuwait, Astana, London, and now Dubai, with an audience or attendance of 2,783 in the last count just now, and I'm sure within the coming few hours it would break the London record. Congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, beside this annual conference, our smaller events, known as roundtables, have been held in Istanbul, Moscow, Bahrain, New Delhi, Dhaka, London, Johannesburg, Madinah, Jakarta, and within the coming few months, Gangwon Province in Korea, Cordoba, Spain, and Tokyo will host roundtables in the name of the WIEF. We have also held special entrepreneur development programs for women and youth leadership networkings in different cities like Casablanca, Surabaya, Durban, Manila, Nairobi, Johor Bahru, and Kuching in Malaysia. The spread of our activities worldwide illustrates the WIEF's widening acceptability amongst not only the business communities, but significantly amongst the youth and women. More significantly is that more and more non-Muslim countries and their respective business communities, as well as their youth and women, are participating in our activities. Bearing in mind that there existed so much doubt about our then lifespan, some even giving us just 3 years to last at that time, and that we would be rejected by non-Muslim governments and their business communities, 10 years on, here when I'm standing before you, we are still standing proudly and receiving an ever-continuing support. Alhamdulillah. The WIEF has been, from the start, insisting that we are a business forum. We are the platform as well as the facilitators for collaboration to better our business interests. We also give special focus on women, on youth, on the arts and culture, and on education. We would like to promote the attention of the world on smaller countries, and we need to give opportunities to small and medium enterprises. In so doing, we have managed to steer clear of raising issues that relate to religion or politics. And it cannot be denied that debates, discussions, and arguments on religion and political issues are an essential part of an ever-challenging world. We are convinced, however, that even taking into account the connectivity of religion politics, and economic development, there need to be increased serious attempts to bridge gaps by working on common denominators that could unite us all in order to decrease the chances of conflict. Especially considering that religious and sectarian conflicts seem more the order of the day, nowadays, it is my humble opinion that the most obvious common denominator is business collaboration through a win-win situation. Hard work, competition, yet with collaboration for profits is, to me, obviously the way, the WIEF way. At the same time, we need continuously to remind ourselves that business recognizes no boundary, no nationality, no race, no color, no creed. We need to build bridges with very strong, unshakable foundations, with webs of business connectivities covering the whole world. It is in this collective wish for success that, as chairman of the WIEF, I thank our leaders and all of you present here today for giving us continuing support. Before concluding, I would be failing in my duty if I did not mention with sincere thanks to three groups. That is, the Dubai Chamber for partnering the WIEF Secretariat in the most active way. Then my colleagues in the International Advisory Panel of the WIEF. And last but not least, all staff members of both the WIEF and Dubai Chamber for their hard work and dedication. May Allah bless us all. I thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. May I invite His Excellency, Mr. Mohammed bin Abdullah al-Girgawi, the UAE Minister for Cabinet Affairs, the Chairman of the Dubai Center for the Development of Islamic Economy, to make the UAE country statement. You have the floor, sir.
Your Excellencies, heads of state, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. We would like to welcome you to the United Arab Emirates, and I have the pleasure to convey to you the greetings of the leaders of the UAE as well as its nation. All our best wishes for the success of this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, the Islamic economy has made steady advances and steps forward with an increasing base of clientele. It has become a solid phenomenon in the world economy, having a great impact. It has become also a very essential element of the development of all Islamic societies. More than 140 states are represented in this global forum. In the United Arab Emirates, we believe in the significance of the Islamic economy, and this started in the 70s after the establishment of the UAE, where the first Islamic bank had been established under the guidance of His Highness Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan, President of the UAE. and under the guidance of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President of the UAE, ruler of Dubai, we are all moving in the same direction, and we have seen emergence of new Islamic banking products. Ladies and gentlemen, you may all know that the world is facing many of the reasons for tension and regression in terms of development. This all happens in many of the Islamic countries. You may all know that one of the reasons and the purposes of Islamic banking is the investment in the land and in the investment for the prosperity of nations and the happiness for human beings everywhere in the world. The Islamic economy, together with the economic partnerships and the resources that can be devoted to the development of societies, all this can be a key element towards the stability in the world. Yes, indeed, we can achieve this if we establish innovative partnerships and if we foster and promote cooperation, and we lead policies towards development in conformity with the Islamic rules. Islamic banking and the achievements made so far are just a very strong proof of the fact that we can achieve this. And I would say that this World Islamic Economic Forum is one of the tools by which we can improve the cooperation between nations of the world. We can convey a very strong message to the world that our religion has the purpose to develop the land use and to foster the economy and prosperity for all nations with all the principles of tolerance. And these principles and purposes are shared by all of us. This gives us very optimism regarding the future here in the UAE and for us all. Thank you very much. I do wish you all the success. Peace and blessings of Allah be upon you. Thank you, Your Excellency Minister.
The Honorable Datu Seri Naguib Abdel Razzaq, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, would like to share with you his vision of Islamic finance in Malaysia through the video to be projected on the screen now.
Malaysia has long been a trading nation. Blessed with rich natural resources, strategic location, and a stable Islamic finance system, Malaysia has developed into a high-skilled, high-value-added economic powerhouse in Southeast Asia. We're a warm, friendly, and vibrant nation with strong political leadership, leading a stable and progressive economic environment, putting us amongst the top 20% largest economies in the world today.
We are a young nation, and like all young people, we have dreams, hopes and aspirations, and belief of a better future. That better future is to be a high-income, fully developed nation by 2020.
No doubt, we are the pivot to Southeast Asia, facilitating access to a 600 million plus ASEAN consumer market. Malaysia is strategically connected to other parts of the booming Asian region, particularly China and India, which serves as an ideal launchpad for investment in Asia. Malaysia is a pioneer of the modern Islamic finance and dominates global sukuk issuance, leveraging on our knowledge and experience in Islamic banking and finance. We are currently contributing to 11% of the world's research reports on Islamic finance through our dedicated and robust talents. Our Ijara and Wakala principles underlies the government's commitment towards developing and We have spread our resources across a broad range of industries, keeping a balanced, multi-sector portfolio that adds to our stable and steady economic progress. We've built world-class infrastructure and implemented internationally recognized regulatory and operating systems needed to support global multinational companies' operations and expansion in Southeast Asia. Malaysia is more than a regional economic powerhouse. We offer high living standards for the family, some of the best beaches and diving spots in the world, and a rich tapestry of culture and arts. So come to Malaysia to work, invest, and play while living amongst a warm, multilingual, multi-religious population that has lived in harmony for hundreds of years to experience and benefit from the best in Asia. Malaysia, it's where the best of Asia comes alive. See you there.
شاركوني الآن.
Let us welcome the Honorable Sirri Naguib Abdul Razak, the Prime Minister of Malaysia and the sponsor of the World Islamic Economic Forum Foundation, on the podium to make his statement. You have the floor, sir.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And a very good afternoon. Your Excellencies, Presidents of Kazakhstan, Bangladesh, Prime Ministers of Timor-Leste, Luxembourg, President of IDB, Yang Berbahagia Tun Musa Hitam, Chairman of the World Islamic Economic Forum Foundation, Yang Berbahagia Tun Abdullah Badawi, former Prime Minister of Malaysia, Your Highnesses, Ministers, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor to be here for the 10th World Islamic Economic Forum. I would like to especially thank His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum for his personal support in making this happen. This, the first WIEF in the Middle East. In the past 10 years, the forum has brought thinkers and leaders together to talk about big issues, issues that we face together, from food security to economic development. The success of WIEF is also due to the leadership role played by Tun Musa Hitam and the Secretariat of WIEF. I wish to congratulate Tun Musa and his team for their tireless effort in making WIEF what it is today, a forum with immense global recognition. I would be remiss not to acknowledge the role of my predecessor, Tun Abdullah Badawi, who provided the much-needed support and impetus, especially in the early years of the inception of WIEF. Thank you, Tun, for your support, your continued support in the past and in the present. Ladies and gentlemen, this year our theme is Innovative Partnerships for Economic Growth. I know WIEF have an impressive set of speakers lined up to talk about everything from design to development economics. But today I would like to talk about a partnership that is essential for growth, a partnership public, private, and third sectors, a partnership that makes human and economic development possible, and that is education. Ladies and gentlemen, education is central to our history. Indeed, the first word Allah revealed to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was Iqra, or read. In the golden age of Islam, the world's first universities, the Bait al-Hikmah in Baghdad and Al-Qarawiyyin in Fez, were established in Muslim lands. From Cairo to Cordoba, scholars around the world came to Islamic capitals to engage in study, in translation and discourse, preserving works from antiquity and advancing human knowledge in everything from astronomy to geography. For centuries, Muslims led the world of learning. But despite notable successes, we did not turn this strong start into a lasting legacy. Today, too few Muslims are able to read or write. According to the Islamic Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, illiteracy rates in some Muslim countries reach 40% for men and 65% for women. Our tradition of pioneering science did not produce a generation of modern scientific leaders. Only 2 Muslims have won the Nobel Prize for chemistry or physics. We have the world's oldest universities, but few of the world's best. An organization of the Islamic Conference countries spend just a third of the global average on research and development. The end result is that too many Muslims are missing out on opportunities, and too many Muslim nations are missing their greatest assets, their people. Ladies and gentlemen, by prioritizing education throughout life, we can realize the potential of our people, reducing poverty, raising living standards, and unlocking 21st century growth. We need innovative partnerships between educators, governments, private and third sectors to make good the gap. The starting point is literacy, the foundation for success. According to the World Literacy Foundation, illiteracy costs the world economy more than $1 trillion a year. But the human cost is greater still. A child born to a literate mother is 50% more likely to live past the age of 5. We should unite behind the Islamic Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's call to use all means available to ensure our people can read, write, and contribute to national economic and social development. We should follow the example of Arab states, whose adult literacy has risen by 20% in the past 20 years, or Southeast Asian nations, where literacy rates are consistently above 90%. Alongside efforts to improve adult and youth literacy, we should continue to focus our policies and resources on schooling. Primary and secondary education is the standard that makes achievement possible. UNESCO reports suggest that each year of additional schooling increases a person's earnings by up to 10% and GDP growth by 0.37%. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the world's most courageous education activists is a Muslim, the Nobel Peace Laureate Malala Yousafzai, who has drawn global attention to the struggles that some girls still face in accessing education. We should honor her inspiring courage and work by continuing to focus on providing quality primary and secondary education for all our citizens, preventing young people from dropping out of school, and working with countries with sizable Muslim minorities to understand why some Muslim communities are underachieving, while others are flourishing. We can also do more to build up the quality and capacity of our higher education system as technology spreads further in the workplace, creating new sectors and careers. Countries are competing to create strong, knowledge-driven economies. That includes scientific knowledge, where countries like Turkey and Iran have made significant leaps forward. By investing in research and supporting scientific study, countries like Egypt and Saudi Arabia help build strong reputations and even stronger results. And when it comes to encouraging new technology sectors, our host, Dubai, have led the way, making the digital economy one of the pillars of their economic policy. Often, the conversation about education stops at the university level, but we can also do more, and we must do more to encourage a culture of lifelong learning. That includes postgraduate and vocational technical programs in specialty areas. Malaysia, which issued the world's first sovereign sukuk, has made a strategic decision to focus on Islamic finance with institutions and courses designed to train professionals in this fast-growing sector. Ladies and gentlemen, meeting these objectives will require innovative partnership between private sector education providers, governments, and communities. But by making education a priority from early years to later life, we can unlock new opportunities for our people, new human resource for our businesses, and new growth for our nations. I thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Highnesses, distinguished delegates, for his outstanding contribution to the development of the world Islamic banking services and the strengthening of the Islamic finance principles in the Central Asian region, and his initiative to set up Al-Hilal Bank, being the first Islamic bank in Kazakhstan. WIEF has nominated His Excellency President Nursultan Nazarbayev, the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, to receive the World Leader in Islamic Finance Award. Let us welcome President Nursultan Nazarbayev, the President of the Republic of Kazakhstan, to make a statement on the podium. You have the floor, Your Excellency.
Distinguished colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, and participants in this forum, the theme of today's World Islamic Economic Forum, Innovative Partnerships for Economic Growth, and this is a very topical issue today. And the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Mr. Raz, said this in great detail and very much to the point. In the light of the world crisis, economic growth of countries has become a very important factor for stability and for the development of their economies. And the members of the WIEF control 70% of world energy resources, and they export 40% of mineral raw materials. However, in the countries of the organization, only 7.5% of world GDP takes place, and only 11.2% of the overall volume of trade turnover. This shows that the workforce is not very productive in our countries, and so we need decisive cooperation and measures and initiatives so that we can cope with and overcome these challenges. And the Muslim world today faces serious problems such as the population growth, poverty, the exhaustion of natural resources, and the worsening ecology. And during the presidency of Kazakhstan in the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, there was a declaration made regarding the modernization and reforms in the basis for the development of the Islamic world in the 21st century. And from this position, Kazakhstan has become a defender of the development and strengthening of the Islamic world. We have been independent for 22 years since the collapse of the Soviet Union. And there appeared this new country of Kazakhstan on the world map. And it is a country where 70% of the population are Muslim. And in that short period of time, we, from a situation of collapse, we have built up our economy, and we are developing our economy, and have done. We've multiplied our economy by 16 times, from $500 per head to 13,000 per year, and we have become an example, and we still hold by our religion, and we are a multinational country which respects all religious confessions, and we respect all cultures. And the stability of Kazakhstan today, where there are over 100 nationalities and many different religions, is an excellent example for the development of society today. And Kazakhstan is carrying out these things with priorities in order to establish an alternative economy and industrial economy, because we are a very rich country in terms of gas and oil, and we export these today. And we want a system of cooperation, giving support to small and medium-sized businesses in the framework of a new industrial program, and we are actively working with our partners, such as the United Arab Emirates, Turkey, and others. And we now have over 15 promising prospects worth $500 billion US, and we are creating the circumstances so that we can attract investors, and we are building our transport infrastructure. We have built over 10,000 kilometers of roads and many hundreds of miles of railways, and so the distance between China and the Persian Gulf has been reduced by many miles, and so we don't have outlet to the sea, so we are building good relations with the Chinese People's Republic, and we have a 7,000 common frontier with Russia to the north, and we have become a hub in the modern Silk Road, going from China to Western Europe, and we can become a global center for security, and we have 90 million hectares of agricultural land. 25 billion of these hectares are arable, and 61 million are for pasture. Today we export a lot of wheat, and we can use new techniques in order to increase the productivity 3 times, in fact. And this is a promise for Islamic finance and its development in our country. And very significant for us is the work with the Islamic Development Bank. And we were the first among a number of countries which were formerly within the Soviet Union to develop a system of partnership with the Islamic Development Bank. investing over $700 million, and the Islamic Development Bank participates in a number of cooperative programs with other international financial organizations. In 2000 and up to 2015, and we have involved, in fact, over $1.5 billion, and we are providing advisory help to developments in banking in Kazakhstan. And His Excellency, the President of the Arab Emirates, Sheikh Khalifa Al Nahyan, took a decision to open the first Islamic bank, Al Hilal, with a capital of $500 million US. And we position our largest city, Almaty, as a regional hub of Islamic finance for the countries of the CIS and Eastern Europe. Laws have been passed, and we now work with Islamic instruments. And our active participation in applying and developing Islamic finance was marked by awarding the prize for as global leader in the sphere of Islamic finance. I would like to thank you for the fact that Kazakhstan and I, as President of the country, am able to participate for the first time in this forum, and I think that we will take further action and will cooperate actively with our other partners, and we are continuing our efforts to broaden the principles of Islamic banking. Distinguished participants, I'm convinced that the participants in this Islamic Forum will make their contribution to a rethinking of the development of the world economy. And I wish you fruitful work, and that you will, I hope, have open and fruitful discussions. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Distinguished guests, let us welcome His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, the President of the State of Bangladesh. You have the floor, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Distinguished Chairman of WIEF, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. Let me congratulate UAE for convening the World Islamic Economic Forum. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the people and the government of UAE and of Dubai deserves our sincere appreciation for a most warm welcome and hospitality accorded. The forum continues to highlight a range of contemporary economic and social issues facing the Muslim world. The forum provides a useful space for us to interact on innovative ideas and knowledge with the rest of the world. The theme of this forum is timely. The global community is now discussing a global development agenda for the next 15 years. There, Bangladesh has emphasized on the importance of securing dignity, well-being, and inclusion of people in the future development frameworks. Our experience could be noteworthy. Bangladesh reduced poverty from 57 in 1991 to just under 25% today. During the last 4 years, our average GDP grew at over 6%. In spite of limited resources and many challenges, Bangladesh has made 6 of the MDGs. Homegrown innovation and mobilization and utilization of local resources were behind our success and reliance. We believe development of people's skill, knowledge, capacities in a knowledge-based global society is critical for achieving sustainable development. In that context, driven by our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Vision 2021 of emerging as a middle-income country by 2021, Bangladesh is striving for quality education for all, empowerment of women, and a digital Bangladesh. Ladies and gentlemen, today the world commands substantial knowledge, resources, and capabilities to grow further. We see rapid changes in dynamic and growth pattern in global manufacturing and service sectors. Information and communication technologies offer a scope for further innovation and changes. At the same time, we face increasing challenges, risks, and vulnerabilities. Gaps between countries and communities are also widening. Inequality, poverty, deprivation, hunger, diseases, and indignity still concern much of the Muslim world. Climate change also risks much of our precious development gains. So, the world needs new, creative approach and development pathways to balance the opportunities and challenges. The $8 trillion global Islamic economy would need to consider innovative and new ways to fast-track sustainable development in our countries. Let me underline a few practical aspects that the forum should build upon. First, our countries need robust, effective, and need-based international support. In terms of accessibility, development, finance, market access, investment, capacity building, and technology. Countries like Bangladesh also require an enabling global environment to meaningfully reap the benefits of globalized movement of goods, services, investment, finance, trade, knowledge, people. Second, majority of the populous countries in the Islamic world need support in creating adequate productive capacity and developing critical infrastructure. Third, technology is a key factor to determine our country's development in the future. Low-income countries like Bangladesh should get easier access to life-saving technologies in health, agriculture, food, climate change, IPR restrictions must be addressed. Our efforts to develop adaptive technologies should be fully supported. Fourth, in a knowledge-based global economy, our countries would need to pay greater focus on science, technology, innovation. This has to be beyond the way we currently undertake resources planning across relevant sectors like education and employment. Fifth, Muslim world is not homogeneous in terms of level of social and economic development. Many of our countries are low income and LDCs. Some are also climate vulnerable. Their circumstances and risks are unique. Their needs and issues should be particularly kept in view in any form of partnership. Sixth, new actors and sources can bring a new knowledge and resources to address our development challenges, including private sector. But all new and innovative resources and actors should bring in practicable and additional resources in providing social goods and address complex developmental challenges. Bangladesh would stress that any innovative partnership must be based on mutual trust, mutual respect, and understanding, mutuality of interest, mutual benefit, and equitable sharing of benefits. Meeting these objectives is crucial for securing balanced, broad-based partnership. The global discussion on the post-2015 agenda has underlined these. We have supported stand-alone goals on inclusive economic growth, industrialization, employment, and jobs, unlike any time in the past. Realization of the new agenda should ask that each actor and stakeholder fulfill respective commitments and actions. The post-2015 agenda is universal. It would impact on all actors and stakeholders, including trade, finance, and investment. As the Forum considers new development models and tools, this needs to be taken into account. Private sector, investment, and finance community in the Muslim world should prioritize their actions accordingly and may focus on some of the emerging areas. We support the Forum in considering new development narrative, framework, and tools of cooperation. Our people and their well-being will have to be at the center of any innovative partnership for inclusive growth framework. The Forum has the potential to lead the world in that endeavor and start with modest piloting of a few sustainable solutions in addressing the development challenges in the Islamic world. I wish the Forum all success to this end. I thank you all. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Your Excellency.